Today we're going over 5.4 factoring quadratic expressions. So the first thing that we're going to go over is looking at if we can take out a greatest common factor. So let's say, for example, we have 4x squared plus 20x minus 12. We want to see if there is a number or a variable that goes into every term of this quadratic. So we look at the numbers and we say, okay, we have 4, 20, and 12, or negative 12. So the number that goes into all of them, the greatest common factor, is a 4. So we're going to take that out, and in parentheses we'll be left with x squared plus 5x minus 3. And this is factored because this trinomial cannot be factored anymore, because there's not two factors that will multiply to negative 3 and add up to 5. So this is factored. The next thing we're going to go over is if we have something where we have x squared minus 7x plus 12. This is when we're looking at something, two factors that multiply to 12 and add up to negative 7. So you can write the factors of 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, and then all of the negative ones as well. Negative 1 and negative 12, negative 2 and negative 6, negative 3 and negative 4. So then we say, out of all of these choices, which one will add up to negative 7? So the one that's going to add up to negative 7 is negative 3 plus negative 4 will give us negative 7. And negative 3 times negative 4 is 12. So since the value of a is 1, the number in front here is a 1, we go straight to the two binomials. So we're going to rate this as x minus 3, x minus 4. And this is now factored to be two binomials. To check your work, we're going to use FOIL. So when we FOIL the two binomials, we use FOIL when we are multiplying two binomials. So FOIL means you're going to multiply the first terms, x times x is x squared, the outer terms, that's a negative 4x, your inner terms, negative 3x, and your last terms is plus 12. When we combine our like terms, negative 4x minus 3x, that's a negative 7x. And that shows that we get back to our original trinomial. So this checked out. So this was the correct answer. The next way we're going to go over is when the value of a, the number in front of x squared, is not 1. So for example, we're going to have 3x squared minus 16x plus 5. And this is when a is not equal to 1. This is the value of a. We're going to multiply a times c, the values of a and c. So we take 3 and 5. 3 times 5, that will give us 15. And we're going to say what multiplies to 15 and it also has to adds up to negative 16. So we list all of the options. If you know it right away, you could just write that one down, negative 1 and negative 15, because negative 1 times negative 15 is 15, and negative 1 plus negative 15 is negative 16. So I'm going to just put x's here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to replace your bx term. We're going to replace your bx term with all of this. So we have a 3x squared minus x, minus 1x is the same as minus x, minus 15x plus 5. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the first two terms and the last two terms. And we're going to say, what can we take out of both 3x squared minus x? Well, that's going to be an x. So we take that out, and we are left with, when I take something out, you divide it out. So 3x squared divided by x will give us 3x. Negative x divided by x will be a minus 1. And then we have to have the same binomial left over when we take something out of this. So we look at what's the greatest common factor for the last two terms, and we also want to have 3x minus 1 left in our binomial. So we're going to take out a negative 5 here, and then we'll be left with this same binomial. So negative 15x divided by negative 5, that's going to give us a 3x. 5 divided by negative 5 is a minus 1. And then we're almost done. If we look at what we have here and what we have here, they both have in common 3x minus 1. So we're going to take that out, we'll write it in the front. And then in our second binomial, we write what's left. If I take out a 3x minus 1 from here, I'm left with x. And if I take a 3x minus 1 out from here, I'm left with minus 5. And this is how we factor quadratic when a is not equal to 1.